Hello YouTube University students, and welcome back to Opa's Garage. And in the garage today we are going to be working on a tongue jack on a trailer, and I'm hoping to save this jack instead of having to remove the jack and spend $50 for a new jack. So before we get started on the video, I wanted you to take note that I'm wearing a new shirt that has a logo on the front and it says Opa's Garage, and if you look at the back, that's a bigger version of the logo that my youngest son Nicholas designed for me for my Opa's Garage YouTube channel. So I'm not selling merch just yet, but I have reached 1,000 subscribers, so I'm pretty proud of that. But if I do decide to start selling merch, this is going to be the logo that I go ahead and use. Let's get started on the video, see if we can't save this trailer jack. So this is the jack that we're working on. This is on a trailer that I've had for several years. It's been sitting out in the weeds for the past couple years because I haven't used it. And I have a need for it right now, and so when I went out there to hook onto it and lower it onto the truck, I discovered that the jack is locked up tighter than a drum. So unfortunately somebody welded this jack onto this trailer, and so you can't flip it up or anything. You have to crank the jack up, and normally there is a pin that is in place of this bolt that before I decided to make this video I had already cut the pin out. But if yours has a bolt, you can remove the bolt. If yours has a pin, all you need to do is grab a grinder with a cutoff wheel, of course, grab some safety glasses, and just cut that pin off. Once you cut the pin off, remove the pin, remove this handle, and then at that point you can raise the trailer up or flip the trailer up. And then I'll remove the jack from underneath, slide the tube down, and the whole assembly comes out of the main tube. And you can see there are your threads. There's a little washer there on top that has some ball bearings in it, but right here is where your threads are, and this is what is seized up. And a lot of times the reason for that is there's supposed to be a hole in the bottom, but a lot of times that hole will get filled up with gook, and then your jack starts filling up with water. And water and steel creates rust. Okay, so once I get the tube out, first thing I do is this is actually a seal. You'd think it was a spacer, but it's a seal to kind of help keep some of the water and stuff out. Take that seal out. I said you got a washer with some ball bearings in it, and then there is a flat washer underneath that usually has a little groove in it that the ball bearings have been riding on. After you get all that out of there, I usually take a screwdriver and just kind of try to clean all the crud and everything that's been building up over the years around your threads. Now there is a way to, I mean, this is just bent over, the tube is bent over at the top, and you can bend those back and you can take this whole assembly out, but usually you don't have to do all that. Once I get it all cleaned out, the next thing I do, take your favorite penetrant. I mean, you got WD-40. I've got a can of PB Blaster around here somewhere that I couldn't find. I like ZEP 45. It's something that we use at work. It seems to do really good. I also have me a little Harbor Freight Maddox rechargeable canister, because my WD-40 canisters usually, for whatever reason, when they're about half full, they stop spraying. And I don't know if this one does or not, but yeah, oh nope, this one sprays. But anyway, a lot of times they'll stop spraying and they're still half full, so I'll cut them open and I'll put them in this thing, and then I usually mix about 50-50 with some old automatic transmission fluid, and that seems to work as a pretty good penetrant also. But like I said, most of the time ZEP 45. I spray that in there really good. Let it soak for a while. Maybe take the screwdriver and Clean some more around there. That usually does not break it loose, but I've had it happen before where, yep, just getting everything out, getting everything cleaned up, spray it a few times, let it sit, tap on it with a hammer to kind of get the penetrant to soak in. I'll usually stand it up when I tap on it just to kind of get the penetrant to where it's actually going down through the threads. So you got that little puddle right there. But if that doesn't work, okay, now normally I would take this over to the vise and put it in the vise, but I'm trying to make videos for people who don't have all kinds of tools and they're still trying to do a lot of DIY stuff with what they got. So I actually took a couple C-clamps and clamped it on the tube onto the frame of the trailer. If you don't have C-clamps, you can always, you know, shove this tube back up inside of this tube here, and it'll hold it in place so you can sit there and work it back and forth. But I've been messing with this for probably about 20 minutes off camera. I've been spraying up in there. I went and got a hammer and was tapping on the end of this, and it actually started kind of working loose just a little bit, but it still like was wanting to hang up. So the very next step, almost everybody has one of these little Bernzomatic torches that you can buy the little bottles for. You'll notice that this bottle is yellow. Most people have the blue bottles, which the blue bottle is propane. If you get the yellow bottle, it's MAP gas, and MAP gas is considerably hotter than propane. So I would suggest in a situation like this, if you don't have an actual 2-bottle torch that you can use, get yourself a bottle of this MAP gas for your little handheld Bernzomatic torch, and it should heat the metal up good enough to where you can get everything broke loose. Once again, wear your safety glasses. You wouldn't think so, but in a situation like this, you've got little pieces of metal that are going to get hot and they're going to pop off of there. And the last thing you want to do is have one of those pop into your eye, and now you're blind in that eye because you didn't wear your $2 safety glasses. So put your safety glasses on, people, and then you fire up your torch. Oh, I already had it on. Maybe I didn't. There you go. Stick it right up in there. Heat everything up really, really good. All the way around. And then, of course, you're going to heat it longer than that, but wiggle it a little bit more. Maybe spray a little more penetrant up in there. Let it cool off a little bit. Wiggle it a little bit more. Oh, see, it's actually starting to come loose. So then take your torch, heat it up some more. You're going to want to keep doing that until you can actually spin it all the way around a couple times. And then at that point, once you can spin it as far out as you can, take your penetrant, spray all your threads, wind it back in there. That gets the penetrant up inside. I guess I was going the wrong way. Up inside there on those threads. And then the next thing you want to do, you want to crank this thing out as far as you can get it. Take a couple shop towels. Wipe it all off real good. And get you a nice wire brush. These are only a couple bucks at the hardware store. And you want to start going through and cleaning all the gook and the gunk out of all those threads. I'm not going to bore you with doing all that, but that's your next step. Clean all those threads out really, really good. Once you get those threads all cleaned out, I would get some good, I'd take some like automatic transmission fluid or some lightweight oil, motor oil, household oil. If you're going to use motor oil, I use like a 20 weight or a 30 weight, like a 10W30. Put it on that, crank it all the way in, crank it all the way out, get it to where everything's working good and smooth. Just wanted to take a quick break during the video and remind you that if you're enjoying this video, maybe this is actually helping you save $50 because you might not have to replace your jack. I would greatly appreciate it if you hit the like and subscribe button. Let's get back to the video. Okay, so once you've got this to where it's cranking in nice and smooth, cranking out nice and smooth, next thing you're going to want to do is take care of that bearing right there. That bearing looks like crap. It's got all kinds of gunk. So you're going to want to take your penetrant. You're going to want to, let's see if I can't grab me a shop rag that's somewhat a little bit clean. Spray it down really good. I apologize for all the background noise. It's about 90 degrees out in the shop today, and so I had the fan going earlier, and I don't know if it looks a little brighter on this shot here, but just a couple minutes ago, Indiana weather being what it is, it went from 90 degrees and sweltering hot to we just got a torrential downpour and everything cooled off, so I opened up the big shop door to kind of get some of that nice cool air in. So you're hearing the rain, you're hearing the fan. You can probably just barely hear my radio. I don't turn the radio up very loud because you have to recognize every single artist that plays in all your videos, and I'm not going to mess around with going through and listening to and finding all the different artists and giving them credit for the background music and getting the okay to be able to use their music. But anyway, once you get that all cleaned up, you're also going to want to take the washer that it rides on and just kind of give it a good cleaning. And then you're ready for reassembly. Okay, let's start our reassembly process. Take our flat washer, take note of where your groove is that the bearing is already made, set it on there. I probably need to adjust my camera up. There we go. And then you got your ball bearing. I take a little bit of grease, stick it on that bearing, work it all the way around. Pop that on there, and you got your little seal. If you want to put it back on, you can. If you don't want to put it back on, that's up to you. I think it also kind of keeps the bearing centered on that a little bit better. And then we're ready to put it back in. Okay, when you're ready to put it all back together, one of the things you're going to want to take note of is somewhere in this tube right here, there's going to be an indentation. And it'll be very noticeable. It won't be a small one. That's probably about 2 inches long, and you can tell it. And then also in this tube here, there will be a groove down the entire tube. You need to line those two up. Get your bolt ready that you can stick in the top, and then you just shove that right up in there. It pops out the top. Stick your bolt through. Okay, final step. I'm just taking my foot to slide that up, set the handle down, shove the bolt through there. Got me a nylock nut that I'm going to put on, tighten it all the way up. Alright, well, the sun's come back out and the heat's going back up, so let's wrap this up real quick. As you can see, she turns nice and free. She goes up and down nice and easy. If I wasn't shooting the video, this is usually about a 30-minute project. So if I can save myself $50 by doing something that takes me about 30 minutes, I think that that's time well spent. A couple things that I did want to take note of. A lot of times I've seen a little washer that's underneath the handle here at the top of the jack. This one doesn't have it. I'm probably going to go ahead and put me a little washer under there just to keep the wear down on this top plate. One of the other things that I would recommend that I plan on doing is I usually drill a 1/4-inch hole down here at the bottom of the tube. I usually drill one on both sides. The reason I don't drill a hole in the bottom is because the bottom is going to be sitting in dirt. It's going to get packed with dirt. So I think that's kind of not as practical as drilling a couple holes on the side to get the water out. Another thing I wanted to make note of is there's a little hole here at the top of the jack. That is to spray a penetrant like the WD-40 BB Blaster, that Z45 that I use. That sprays right in there onto that washer that's got those ball bearings in it. I also like to spray some down in the top of the handle here. And then I usually, once I spray it, I usually work the jack back and forth a few times just to kind of get everything like embedded into the threads. So that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you got something out of it. Like I said earlier, please like and subscribe. And until next time, keep living your best life and get on out in the garage and fix something. Maybe that jack that you've been neglecting.